Coming up, a different pandemic that hides just under the surface.
And what Genesee County is doing to help.
Plus, how you can fight the more obvious virus. DTV News starts right now.
Our newest special, Confronting COVID, was released just earlier this month. Each chapter describes how our community faces the COVID-19 pandemic every day over the last year. Good morning, Davison. I'm Drew Ritter.
And I'm Jillian Tate. As part of our coverage, we took a deep dive into how these times affected students mentally. Haley Croft joins us live now with a closer look. Haley?
This pandemic has been difficult for everyone, and for some, the future looked bleak. This is Chapter 11, The Mental Toll.
Pre-COVID was definitely not the greatest, but I would say that it was better than I am now.
Along with COVID, there is another pandemic lurking in the shadows that has taken hold, especially among students.
And the whole part about being unknown basically means that when you have anxiety, you want to rip out your hair and stop moving because you are so paralyzed with fear.
And for students like Teresa and Maddie, this anxiety and stress can pile up and push them further towards their breaking point.
I really just wanted to not be here anymore. I wanted to just, I really wanted to be frank, I wanted to commit suicide. I wanted it to be all over. I wanted to not feel the pain anymore, the mental anguish and just distraught that I was feeling. I had a very negative outlook on life, and I didn't see it getting better anytime soon, and I just wanted to end it all.
Students were ripped of every shred of normalcy, unable to visit friends and family, and barred from participating in school events.
The majority of kids that we've maybe been getting, especially in the last 6 to 8 months, are kids that are they're struggling. Their anxiety is through the roof.
Kyle Powell is a counselor at Oakland Psychological Clinic, and demand for sessions from her and her colleagues have skyrocketed.
We're finding those of us therapists who are still seeing clients face-to-face are extremely busy. Teenagers, middle schoolers, elementary schoolers, telehealth is just a little more challenging sometimes.
And adding to the already piling stress, students were given the task of learning partially, if not fully, online.
I don't like online school. It is not my favorite. I have a really hard time not being able to talk with a teacher privately and have an immediate response.
Guidance counselor Noelle Cole, like many other staff, have noticed students struggling.
I think it's difficult to be an online student. Davison doesn't have an entirely structured day for our students, so sometimes our online students are suffering a lot of structure.
Staff can see the changes in their students as the stress from the virus becomes overwhelming.
We've noticed our students are a little bit more quiet, a little more reserved, and certainly not as involved.
And they have been doing their best to help.
We've tried to check in with students here. Even during our shutdown, as counselors, we had daily open counseling time when students could pop in and, check in with us or get some personal counseling or get any kind of help or assistance that they need.
Despite all the negatives, there is a silver lining. Mental health and its troubles are becoming more accepted.
The hopeful side is people will say, you know what, people's emotions and their thoughts and their behaviors and what has happened to everybody in the last year is something we have to pay way more attention to.
It has been a hard time for everyone. And with all the negatives, there are always ways to keep yourself positive.
Stay active, stay positive, get your body moving, and let's just hope that, as the months change, things are getting better and better and better.
To make sure you're taking care of yourself, making sure you're eating and sleeping and, eating a healthy diet and things like that are going to help.
And realizing that it is okay to ask for help, especially if things get really bad.
Just talk to people. When you feel like doing something bad or trying to harm yourself in any way, do something harmful, talk to someone. Tell them what you want to do, and it helps you realize that what you are going to do is going to be destructive.
If you or someone you know need help, don't be afraid to reach out. Things will get better, and together we can get through this.
Yesterday, Genesee County voted on a mental health millage to help our community and the students who are struggling in it. With 23,636 votes for and 19,507 against, the millage passed with 54% in favor. With a 0.94 mil property tax over the course of 10 years, the county will raise over $9.5 million each year. The money will go towards a new mental health facility in partnership with Hurley Medical Center for county residents and co-responsive service with local law enforcement to respond to mental health calls and other services that will help the community and those in need get extra support.
One of the reasons mental health is so important right now is because we are all currently facing our own struggles in this pandemic. For this to end anytime soon, we must all do our part. Any student 16 and older is now available to receive a COVID vaccine, which is heavily encouraged by the CDC. Some DHS students have already gotten these vaccines, and there are still many more available. Mental health and vaccines have played a big part in the pandemic and also on our special Confronting COVID that is out now. This special takes an inside look at our Davison community and how we have stayed resilient through these difficult times. To find Confronting COVID, head over to our YouTube page at DTV News or our website, dtvnews.org.
Still ahead on DTV, a familiar name in DTV is making leaps and bounds in the industry.
And Maddox Bissett has the info you need on what Mother Nature is planning this weekend.
You're the absolute worst teacher ever. Why would you ever do this to me?
Depression comes in many forms. Feeling down? Get help now.
I got Jimmy Collins on the slam!
One DTV alum is making money moves. Good morning, Davison. I'm Kate Lawrence. Chris Jarrett is now the radio announcer for the Great Lakes Loons, a High A affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He announced his first game on opening day on Tuesday. You can hear Chris all summer long on ESPN 100.9. Chris, DTV is so proud of you. Keep killing it, man. Today, the boys' tennis team will be swinging their rackets at Lapeer at 4. At the same time, the softball team will be on their home diamond against the Bay City Central Wolves, while the baseball team will be heading into Wolf territory. And both lacrosse teams will be at home against Midland Dow. Girls are playing at 4 and boys at 7:30. Hey Maddox, the weather has been really bad recently. Is it going to be getting any better sometime soon?
Well, to be completely honest, the weather's not going to be good until the weekend. Well, good morning, Davison. I'm Maddox Bissett, and here's your daily weather outlook. Today, it is going to be a high of 51 and a low of 35, some light rain in the afternoon. So if you are planning on coming to school, please pack a raincoat. On Friday, it is going to be the high of 54 and a low of 32 with some afternoon showers. So please, the same thing, please pack a raincoat. On Saturday, as we head into the weekend, it is going to be a high of 53 and a low of 34 with some partly cloudy skies. And finally, on Sunday, Mother's Day, it is going to be a high of 54 with a low of 35 with partly cloudy skies. Now, if you buy your mother anything, make sure it's going to make her happy for Mother's Day, and I will send it back to the desk.
DTV is your hotspot for all things Davison news, sports, and student life. But our social media gives you more than that and more behind the scenes. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at DTV_official for the latest sports updates and behind-the-scenes looks. Or if concerts and news stories is more your thing, then Facebook and YouTube is the place for you at DTV News.
Man, it's been a really tough year. Every student I know has been working really hard, but we can't forget how hard teachers have been working too.
Absolutely, and we've actually been meeting with a lot of the students who want to show their appreciation to some of their teachers, and they want to let their favorite teachers know that they love them. So we'll leave you with some appreciation.
So who's your favorite teacher at DHS and why?
I'd have to say Mr. Mahalik. He's just a really cool guy. He really helps us out, and he's bald.
So who's your favorite teacher at DHS and why? My favorite teacher is Miss Pins. Miss Pins, if you're watching this, I love you very much.
Hello, I'm Joshua, and my favorite teacher is Mr. Fear because he's a really nice guy. He's pretty laid back, he's chill, and he helps me with my work, and like if there's a problem I get stuck on, he just helps me with it and helps me get along with it. And I want to thank Miss Frisky and Miss T for helping me all these years.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Poopke because he's my best friend. I love you.
Miss Frisky because she helps me with a lot of stuff. She knows when I need help, and when I ask for help, she comes to me and just helps me out.
So who's your favorite teacher at DHS and why?
My favorite teacher is Mr. Woods because he is amazing and an amazing teacher. Amazing twice, yeah.
Mr. Schuster because he has a nice haircut.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Wilcox because he made math really fun last semester.
So who's your favorite teacher at DHS and why?
I'm going to have to say Mr. Lubiano because he has definitely helped out a lot of his students with multiple problems.